The biggest deal of the winter so far, Julian Alvarez, no longer a Manchester City player. He has gone where, Mark? And just explain why he's gone as well.
Yeah, huge deal. From Manchester City to Atletico Madrid. He swapped the rain for the sunshine of Spain. And this was a deal that was confirmed by Manchester City in the last hour or so. And it's a huge deal, like you said, at the top of the show. We understand he signed a 6-year contract. Now, there was a little bit of a doubt because we believed at one stage that there were dominoes that linked, obviously, Julian Alvarez and potential deals happening at Atletico Madrid. But confirmation of this one was what we were being told by Manchester City. There was no connection, no concerns, no issues, and the deal has been confirmed by both football clubs. It brings to an end, actually, what has been a really successful 2 years for Julian Alvarez at Manchester City, for both City and Argentina. Not only has he won 2 Premier League titles, he's won a World Cup, a Copa America. The last 2 years since his arrival from River Plate for £14 million has been littered with silverware. So this represents an incredible piece of business by Manchester City. They've made a huge profit on their investment.
I can't even work it out in my head what that profit is.
Yeah,
in terms of the money.
It's in excess of 68
million.
Well
million.
done.
There you go.
Good.
See, that's why he's here. The man with the brains.
I was trying to do it on my fingers and thumbs.
Economics degree.
Really?
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't even get a maths GCSE, so there you go.
Oh, well done.
I think one of the things that stood out for me is in the last hour, with this statement from Manchester City, there's a lot of mutual respect between the club and Alvarez. They accepted this was an opportunity that he wanted to take.
Yeah.
This was money they couldn't quite simply turn down. And it was a really classy goodbye from the football club. So, yeah, massive opportunity for him in La Liga. The 24-year-old's days at City, over.
You did the maths, so it is £82 million, a huge bit of business then for Manchester City.
Yeah, they don't half sell well, Manchester City. Whenever they bring in players, they always seem to make a profit on players. They bought him for £14 million.
That's crazy.
This deal is worth £82 million. That's including performance-related add-ons. So he'll have to fulfil certain conditions, but some of those conditions will be very, very achievable. So if they end up getting the £82 million, he will have done well, Manchester City will have done well out of the deal, and Atletico Madrid, even though it is 82 million, will probably see it as a good deal as well because the success he would have brought himself and the football club as well. And one other thing I would say, when it comes to players at Manchester City, as much as, you know, pundits and experts might say, why are City letting this player go? Look how brilliant he's been. Whenever a player does want to go, you don't usually find Manchester City or Pep Guardiola publicly saying he can't go. It's if the player's not happy there, and if he wants to go and the clubs can get the deal that they want, I'm not going to stand in that player's way, because if he doesn't want to be here, then I don't want an unhappy player here. So you would think that, you know, sometimes a player like Julian Alvarez, they would actually say, no, actually, there's no way he's going. But even with a player like him, they will be willing to say, if he doesn't want to be here, he can go, but as long as the price is right, and obviously the price is right, £82 million from a £14 million outlay.
Yeah, and it also feels that they never regret it as well, dare I say, Manchester City. I know there was a lot of talk about Cole Palmer. Maybe they might regret that one in the future, but when they do let a player go,
yeah, because there's lots of talk now of whether Manchester City are going to go back into the market and bring in a striker or bring in a replacement for Alvarez. But this will also be a nod to the faith that Pep Guardiola has in the remaining players in his squad, especially a player like Oscar Bob, who's come into the team and was performing so well at pre-season. I think he was man of the match in the Community Shield when Manchester City beat United on penalties on Saturday. So Pep Guardiola, he'll know what he's doing. City will know what they're doing. So even if people will say this is going to be a huge miss, they always seem to find a way.